Hey everybody, Catherine here, and if you're new here, welcome. Back in 2019, I left a career and an apartment by the ocean. I packed up what I had left of my worldly belongings after getting rid of mostly everything into a small Lance truck camper, and I hit the road full time. I lived in that truck camper for the first 3 years, and back in 2022, I upgraded to this 21-foot travel trailer, which I've now lived in for about 2.5 years. The mission statement of this channel is to travel and share the beauty of this world with others. I've traveled mostly the Western United States as well as Canada. I share my travel adventures, backpacking adventures, and road life challenges and adventures with you here on the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. As you've seen by the title, I have moved into a trailer park. I actually have moved into a trailer park, albeit it is temporary. I have signed a lease, which is for month to month. So initially I had just planned on being here for 30 days. I planned on being here through the Thanksgiving holiday. It's already been a couple of weeks that I've been here, but it could potentially be a little bit longer. I want to explain why I'm here, why I made this decision. It directly addresses some of the challenges that people like me who live on the road full time might face. If you've been following the channel for a while, you probably know that I've been coming back home to Southern California for the holidays for all of the years that I have been on the road. It is really important to me to spend the holidays with family. It is definitely one of the ways that I combat loneliness on the road. It's very important to me to have that time with family. My mother is getting older, the kids are growing up quickly, and it's just such a warm time to spend with family that it is very important to me that I be home. I'm gone most of the year. I come home maybe for a few days here and there at a time throughout the year. So it is a one time a year that I spend more than just a few days here near home. The problem that I run into year after year after year is, where do I stay? Where do I keep my rig while I'm here? And it is a challenge. Down in Southern California, unless you're way out in the deserts of Southern California, there aren't any free camping options. So I have utilized campgrounds in the past. There are campgrounds that are near to my mother's house. However, you cannot be there for more than 2 weeks at a time. Not only can you not be there for more than 2 weeks at a time, you also are really not supposed to leave your rig unattended. It's generally like county parks or Forest Service campgrounds, and they do not want you leaving your rig unattended. So when I come home, I like to stay with family. Generally, I like to stay in their home part of the time, and that means leaving my rig at a park or somewhere like that, and they don't really take a liking to that, I should say. Not only that, I tend to worry about my rig being unattended while I'm not there. So in the past years, I have done that. I've gone ahead and reserved camping. However, when it does come time to leave, it's hard to find a place to move to. Lots of the places in the area where my family lives book up over the weekends. So basically, I'm out of luck when it comes to the weekends. It is just such a huge hassle that it really takes away from the enjoyment of being home. Also, I can't just store it in a storage facility because I don't have family that I can stay with for extended periods of time. For instance, my mother lives in a 55+ community. She rents an apartment. She doesn't own a home. She's not really supposed to have guests for over 10 days. My sister, who does have a home, that she does have an extra room, they don't have any place for me to park on their street. They live on a very busy residential street, and parking is at a minimum, and the neighbors get pretty grumpy if some visitor is taking up the majority of the parking spaces. When my sister that now lives in Florida was living here in Southern California still, they owned a condo, and I couldn't even park my truck with a truck camper on top, even though it took a regular parking space, because they consider that an RV. So lots of places have restrictions of parking RVs on the streets and what have you. So it's a real headache. And as I mentioned before, there is free camping in the surrounding deserts of Southern California. However, the whole point is for me to be near family when I come home. So this year I decided to do something a little bit different. I decided to rent a space in a mostly full-time RV parks. So a lot of these folks live here full-time. And then there are people that rent a little bit more short term, but even though I'm here maybe 30 days or maybe up to 60 days, it is still considered long term. Anything over 12 days here is considered long term. So I had to go through the whole credit check process. I had to sign a lease agreement just like you do when you rent an apartment. So I really am technically living in a trailer park at the moment. I had to stop filming for a moment because there was a leaf blower right outside making a lot of noise, and that is one of the cons of the situation I'm in. I'm going to go through some of the pros and cons of the situation I'm in currently in a little bit. Unfortunately, I won't be saying what park I'm in, what city I'm in, and I will not be giving a tour of the park. I'm sure you understand, for safety reasons. People are very good at figuring things out, and obviously I'm here for a little bit, so I just want to protect my safety. Beyond the reasons that I've already talked about, I want to talk about some other reasons why I made this decision. I wanted to experiment with what it was like having a home base. I will say, when and if I do get a home base down the line, it will not be in an RV park, I don't think. If it was in an RV park, it wouldn't be in one like I'm in now. It would definitely have to be one that's in a less populated area. I don't know how I would find that, but I was thinking of potentially maybe getting a space, renting a space on somebody else's property, or getting a piece of property of my own where I would just live out of the trailer and probably not travel with it as much, and then have sort of a separate adventure rig. It's not something that's going to happen immediately, but I did think it was a good opportunity to see what that might look like. I'm going to take a quick break here from all this yapping to whip up some AG1. I was hanging out with my sister and my niece yesterday, and I found out that my niece has a cold. Right now, it's more important than ever for me to support my immunity by making sure that I take my AG1 every day. AG1 contains your daily dose of antioxidants, probiotics, and functional mushrooms to support your overall immune health. AG1 contains zinc, antioxidants like citrus, bioflavonoids, and vitamins C and E, which are great for immune defense. AG1 is so much more than greens. It's your daily drinkable scoop of vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients in one. Validated by research and formulated for you, AG1 helps your whole body, brain, and gut health thrive. AG1 is also vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, no GMOs, and there are no artificial sweeteners added. Being here in cold and flu season, I will be extra vigilant about taking my AG1 every day, which I am anyhow. I don't miss a day. It's the only healthy habit that I've been able to maintain for over 4 years now. You guys know I absolutely love AG1. I highly recommend you trying it for yourself. If you'd like to go ahead and click that link below or scan the QR code right here. Right now, AG1 is offering a bonus limited edition surprise gift with your first subscription on top and in addition to your welcome kit when you first subscribe. Who doesn't love a surprise? I know I do. It definitely won't last long, so make sure that you click that link below or scan the QR code to check it out while supplies last. Thank you once again to AG1 for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to our chat. And on the topic of adventure rigs, I am in the market for a new tow vehicle that I could make potentially into an adventure rig. I did not share this story with you here on the channel, but I did share it over on Patreon. When I was in Utah this past fall, I did something kind of crazy. I did something very impulsive. My truck was making a crazy noise. It just was not right. So I took it to this small garage there in Escalante, Utah, and it turned out I needed a new alternator. They were able to fix it for me, which wasn't a big deal. However, at that point in time, I was just so frustrated with the issues I've had with my truck. It has 319,000 miles on it currently. It is a 2002 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD Duramax diesel. It's been really good to me, but I have poured a ton of money into it. I was so frustrated at the time that while they were working on the truck, I got on and started looking for new vehicles. When I went to visit my sister in Provo, Utah, I went to CarMax, and I actually purchased a new car. Fortunately for me, they have a 10-day money-back guarantee because on day 2, something seriously malfunctioned on the car, and I took it back on the 3rd day for a full refund. I dodged a bullet because it was not the right fit for me in terms of rigs. So it was meant to be that that happened that way. It did definitely kind of solidify what I need to look for in an adventure rig and in a tow vehicle. So that's kind of where I'm at now, and one of the reasons why I'm here, and I kind of want to be stationary for the moment because it's something that I'd like to make happen before the end of the year. Securing a new tow vehicle is probably something that's going to happen sooner rather than later, and that's a reason that I need sort of a home base as well and to be in one spot, because I need to be able to go out to multiple places and look at multiple vehicles in order to make the right decision. I also have family here that can help me make that decision, that are mechanically inclined, and being in one spot to me is important to make sure that I don't mess up this time. Another thing is I wanted to give my poor little home on wheels a break. I just wanted it to be stationary. There are lots of little things that I need to address and little repairs I need to make, maintenance, and I put it through its paces. I drive down some heavy-duty dirt roads, and there are things that need to be addressed. I broke off one of the scissor jacks in the back. I actually didn't break it off. Bottomed out coming out of one of those boondocking sites in Colorado and just bent it backwards, so it's been removed and I need to get a new one to replace it. These drawers here right next to me are broken. They just, of course this one's not going to do it now, but they just kind of like, you know, they're tilted, they're not really on the tracks, they need to be adjusted. My countertop here is kind of separating from the actual counter, so I have some ideas on how to repair that. I think I'm going to get an L bracket and just attach it more securely. This is just put together with staples. It's pretty unbelievable how the manufacturing is and the workmanship on these trailers. So that's another thing that I need to address, and it's good for me to be in a spot where I have access to Home Depot and Lowe's and all the different places I can get pieces and parts, and just let it rest for a bit and let me get it back in good functioning order. That is something I usually do this time of year. It's a good opportunity for me to get my little rig in tip-top shape before starting out on another year of whirlwind and exciting adventures. I mentioned in another video that I was also back in California because my primary care physician is out of California. My insurance is based out of California. I have a lot of people ask me about health insurance. As a nomad, I qualified for Covered California, which is part of the Affordable Health Care Act. So my primary care physician is here in California. It is time for my annual exams, my physical, my mammogram, my OBGYN exam, all of that I have scheduled here while I'm home for the holidays. So that is another reason having a home base is ideal at the moment. Definitely don't look forward to those appointments, but it's something that has to be done. Before I hit the road full time, most of the adventures that I did were either, you know, driving up to the Sierra on like a weekend getaway, or I would fly to my destinations. I flew out to various states for backpacking trips just to save the time from driving because I didn't have that much vacation time or that much paid time off. So flying to destinations was the mode of transportation for most of my adventures back then. I don't really have the ability to do that very much now because I have my trailer. So there's always my trailer to think about where it's going to be stored and where it will be safe. Now with this little situation that I've got going on, I have the opportunity to fly to a destination for an adventure or two, maybe one or two during this time. I have some ideas of some places that I might want to go. If you guys would like to drop in the comments where you might want to see me go. I don't want to pay a lot of money for travel, you know, so it would have to be somewhere that I could get to for a relatively reasonable rate. But while I have this opportunity, it might be something exciting. Maybe I could rent a rig on the other end, something that I would be interested in trying out, like a van that's built out, or something like that. Just try living in a different type of vehicle, or maybe in a unique situation like a cabin or a yurt. There's a wide variety of possibilities, so that is something that I could do while I have this space. And don't worry, I'm not just going to be sitting in this trailer filming videos in this trailer park. I don't really plan on being here that much. I've already been here a couple of weeks and been on a couple of adventures in my little truck camping setup, which I still plan on doing. I may be flying to destinations, and the option is to obviously take my trailer from here and bring it back as well. So just through the holiday season, I will have it here as a home base, but the adventures will not stop. I think it's an awesome opportunity to mix it up a little bit. Right now, I want to talk about some of the pros and cons that I have experienced thus far being here. And I will start with the cons so we can end with the pros on a little bit lighter note. The biggest con for me is the noise. Being in the city, I'm definitely not used to it. I was set to start filming this video this morning, and the leaf blowers came through the property, and they were using those really loud gas operated leaf blowers. They were so loud and obnoxious that I could not start filming this video. I had to wait until they were done. Right after that, there was a helicopter just hovering, circling the area. So they must have been looking for something or someone, and that delayed the filming of this video even further. I hear sirens and traffic, and I'm just not used to those noises. So that is for sure a con. I'm not used to being in such close proximity to my neighbors. That is something that takes some getting used to. So I'd say noise pollution in this general area, and just crowds, the hustle and bustle of the cities, the traffic, that is the biggest con. It works for me for now because I know it's only temporary, and I am coming and going quite a bit, so I'm not here 24/7. The pros of being in this situation is I have unlimited water, unlimited sewer, unlimited power. I do have to pay extra for utilities, so I'm not always using the power here. I will sometimes shut it down and go with my solar because I have really good solar. I'm getting a lot of sunlight here as well, so the solar is working out as well. I am close to family, but I can also stay in my own little home and have my own privacy and not put out anyone. So that feels really good to have that option. It's a safe place for the trailer while I'm gone. I feel like it's safe here. It's protected. This place is gated. You need a code to come in. So it's a safe place to keep my little home on wheels while I'm out on these adventures. I've really enjoyed getting back to basics and camping out of the truck camper. I like that. It's a lot of fun for me to camp out of the back of the truck. I enjoy it. And I am looking very forward to getting a new to me little adventure rig to replace the old one. Be sad to see it go, but it'll be nice for some change. So in this video, I just really wanted to address, for one thing, where my trailer is, because I've had so many people ask me since I have been in the truck, where is your trailer? Is it okay? I think that a lot of people might have assumed that something had gone terribly wrong. No, she's good, she's fine. She's my little home, but I need to take care of her. I need to do some things to get her back in tip-top shape, and this is a great opportunity for me to do so. I also just wanted to address this because I have a feeling that there are a lot of people that live on the road like me that do struggle with situations similar to mine. If you do live on the road and you struggle with the same type of situation, I'd love to hear it in the comments, and I'd love to hear how you deal with it. Also, winter in general is just a difficult time to live on the road full time. Last year, I did visit more of the southwest area of the US where it seems to be a lot more temperate during the winter. I probably will be getting out to that general area once I do finish up with all my family and holiday obligations here. So that'll probably be the first adventures with the new setup, hopefully. Anyhow, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. I hope you found it maybe informative or helpful, gave you some ideas. This place that I'm here right now is around the 600 $600 a month area to rent, plus the utilities, if anybody's curious about that. As I mentioned, you do have to go through a credit check and sign a lease agreement because it is considered a long-term rental as opposed to just coming in and staying for 2 weeks or 12 days. So it's a little bit more of a process if you were curious about that. You know, an option for people who are out full-time living on the road is to move from a park like this to a park like this to a park like this, maybe stay for a few months at a time. That way your scenery is always changing. You're not in one place all the time. So that could be an option for people who don't mind being in parks like this. As always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's absolutely free and it helps the channel a lot. If you have not hit that notification bell, make sure that you do hit that so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next adventure. And we will be going on some great adventures. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.